Commanders Nation. Terry McLaurin just flipped the script. He admitted his trade request was real. He reminded us that the first time in his NFL career, he'll have QB stability. And he showed us why AP and Dan Quinn believe he's the heartbeat of this franchise. This wasn't just a press conference. This was a message. And we're going to break it all down, what Terry words really mean for Jayden Daniels, for the wide receiver room, and for the future of our beloved Commanders. If you're rocking with me, smash that like. If you're new, hit subscribe, because here on G Talk, we don't just talk news, we G Talk. So let's start it off with the ankle smoke screen, as I'm calling it, right? Terry immediately when asked about it, he brushed it off in the press conference. He said, that's between me, the trainers, and the staff, right? Here's the truth. We all know the ankle, nothing was wrong with his ankle. He looks fine, as you can see in these clips here. It was a placeholder. It was a smoke screen. They just used that to put him on the PUP list to save him some money, as well as to keep him close to the franchise for negotiation aspects, as well as that team camaraderie, that brotherhood. As you heard in the press conference, Terry McLaurin definitely relied heavily on that brotherhood as this process went on. And trust me, brotherhood makes everything better when you have a situation that's as emotional as dealing with contract negotiations. That's trust, right? Think about how much he had to trust in the GM taking care of his guy, right? And believe that he knew that Adam Peters had his best interest at mind, as well as the franchises. Like, that's a mean juggling act AP had to do up there. But that proves Terry's right where he should be, locked in, and now he's ready for week 1. Moving on to Jayden Daniels and the impact that we're going to get from that with the QB stability, right? Terry hit us with a liner. This is the first time I'll have the same QB for 2 straight seasons. That definitely helps when asked about his ramp-up time when it comes to getting ready for week 1. And I have to say, he has played with 50-11 quarterbacks. And he's always been elite, right, in his preparation, in his communication. And now he has a quarterback that's on the same wavelength as him. A quarterback that believes in him, that believes in what Terry wanted and believed and kept pushing Terry to understand you're worth what you're asking for, right? When you got players like that in your corner, man, the sky's the limit. That's what they keep talking about, this brotherhood. It's a good thing that Terry had this press conference today, because he peeled some layers back on what the brotherhood really is in that Commanders building. And it sounds like it's something beautiful, man. From Bobby Wagner to Jayden Daniels to the 30 guys that's rushing them in the weight room. Come on, man. Almost brought a tear to my eye, man. We got our wide receiver 1 back. And it's a great feeling. It feels good. It feels good. Right? Think about it. Since 2019, really since a little before that, but since 2019, right? It's been QB chaos. Now we got Jayden Daniels. And Terry's tied to the hip with Jayden Daniels for the foreseeable future now. Right? We talking about a year 2 leap incoming Jayden Daniels, an MVP Jayden Daniels, a Super Bowl winning quarterback Jayden Daniels. I'm calling it. We going to the Super Bowl this year. I'm calling it now. Right? And remember, Jayden is becoming a leader right in front of our very eyes. Even Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury always talk about it, like how Jayden Daniels has been growing as a leader. And for Terry to get up there and say, hey, man, the kid is my guy, and he was looking out for me. He reminded me every day I was worth it and that the team was waiting on me to get back. And there was no hard feelings in the locker room, because they all knew he had to take care of what he needed to for his family. Man, that's a leader, man. That's a brother, right? That's someone that you're willing to go to war with, And that's what you need when we talking about this division, this conference, this league, and where we're trying to go. Like, if we're trying to get to the Super Bowl, we need our alphas, our dogs, to want to rely on one another like that, being able to lean on one another like that, right? That's not fluff, man. That's QB1 and wide receiver 1 locking arms and being locked in And that's a problem for the league. It's about to get real scary for the league with Scary Terry back in the fold. Fuck your jersey swaps. We got Terry back. We got 17 back. And the way he was talking in the press conference, it made me feel like we're going to see one of the best versions of Terry we've ever seen. Right? The chemistry between a QB1, a real QB1, and a real wide receiver one, we haven't had that in years. You got to go back to Santana Moss days. And that's a long time ago. Right? And Santana Moss will tell you himself, his favorite quarterback he played with was Brad Johnson. Bro, that was in 2005. Do you understand how long ago that was? It's crazy to think about, right? And then we move on to the trade request and then the resolution. Because that's what we love to see, a good resolution. That puts a bow on this beautiful story and opens up this next chapter, which is week 1 of the NFL football season, right? But when asked about the trade request, Terry didn't admit it. He didn't dodge it. He admitted the trade request was real. That's where I was mentally, emotionally, after talking to the family and Buddy Baker and his team, and that's where he was. Right? This whole thing could have blown up. He basically said, man, after being in OTAs, minicamp or whatever, and they got to I don't know what section 3 of the OTAs or whatever. He was like, all right, I'm fed up. Is this really gonna happen? Maybe I need to step away for a little while. Maybe I need to make some time for myself and get myself together, dig deeper into my faith. And I'm not mad at Terry for doing that, man. You gotta think about you first, your family, and really dig in. And as a fan, we try not to act like we don't understand that. Like we don't go through those same things in our everyday life. And we do. And we do. We all do. We all gotta sometimes just gotta step back and really examine what the landscape is, right? And I know he was getting tired. He even said it. 30 years old, they keep talking about I'm 30 and I'm not able to be elite. Terry like, no, that's not me. Terry said I'm an outlier, right? I'm an outlier. If we're gonna get into that, we are gonna get into that because I got some things to talk to you about when it comes to Terry and this wide receiver room. We're gonna this put a pin in that outlier statement. When Terry was asked, did he get what he wanted? My man had a big ass grin on his face. He said, I did. Good question, Nikki Javala. Great question. Way to start it off. That's closure. That's buy-in. That's what you want from your wide receiver one, your alpha dog, your commander. It proves AP gets things done without burning bridges, regardless of all the reports that was trying to come out and that didn't give context into how AP does business. They kept trying to draw AP as this real bully type figure where in business it's not bullying, it's business, right? And when you're talking about business, it's no feelings and emotions in business. It's dollars, cents, metrics, KPIs, things like that. It's not, oh, I'm mad, oh, I'm happy, I'm glad, I'm sad. None of that matters. And so Terry had to go into it. He had to readjust his core, and have those conversations with Dan Quinn, have those conversations with AP, have those tough conversations with Buddy Baker. And listen, we got to see Terry peel those layers back, man. Now, I will say, one of the funnier parts of the press conference from Terry today, from Terry, was at the very end. They cut it, but I gotta put this in here, man, because we was all talking about how he had the hoodie on and he wasn't looking necessarily himself, right? But we got a classic Terry moment today. When he's asked about the hoodie, he laughed. He jumped up real quick. He said, I'm a hoodie guy. At 90 degrees, I'm still rocking the hoodie. Shout out to all the hoodie people, right? He was finding joy even amongst the chaos because he heard all the noise about the hoodie. He probably was having a good old time with that, chilling at the crib. But that's the type of superstars you keep, not just based off of numbers, but someone that's grounded, relatable, willing to peel back the layers and show you why he's leadership material. I don't know in the last time we've had someone like that in our franchise. Like Terry makes you proud to be a Commander fan, made you proud to be a Washington team football team fan, it made you proud to be a Redskin fan. Like Terry is him, and I'm glad we got him on our roster, man. I'm glad we got him for the foreseeable future, man. Now I did tell y'all I wasn't a capologist, but still got to give y'all some of the information, right? And I know y'all already know about it as far as the 3 years up to 96 million. You know, he has, I want to say it says $30 million signing bonus, up to $44 million guaranteed. 30, you know what I'm saying? So I mean it's prorated through 2029 with the void year. So that year is when JD's contract is due. Translation for all that mumbo jumbo I wrote off. Terry's secure, man. He's here. So go get them 17 jerseys. All right. I'm getting my joint in white, and I'm gonna have to get a black one. And this is the best part. With Terry being secure, AP and the staff made sure there's flexibility on our roster as far as the financial landscape. It's still there. We still have flexibility, right? As AP mentioned in the press conference, you got to give both sides had to give a little, right? They probably didn't want to give the guarantee that they gave. And Terry probably wanted more overall, right? So they was like, we're gonna give you this incentive laden deal, keep you here. We have outs and built in and things like that. But if you cooking and you at your elite level that you say you're gonna be at for these years to come, my boy, go ahead and break the all-time franchise receptions record. You could do that by the end of this contract. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself in the ring of fame. Just like you said, you want to be like Bobby B Wags and you want to be that vet in the locker room that's a gold jacket. Yeah, be that. By the time this contract up, we gonna know. And if you on that short list of gold jackets, we gonna be shouting for you, my boy. You going in first ballot. We not gonna let them play with your name. We're not gonna let them play with your name. So think about it like this: reward your stars, protect the roster. It's a win-win. And then if you think about it another way, made us fans very happy and jolly. That's a win-win-win. That means week one gonna turn up. Y'all, we ain't seen Terry at all. The fans went to practice, they ain't been seeing Terry play. First time they gonna see Terry in a jersey, like with pads on, it's gonna be week one against the Giants. We gonna be so live. We gonna be so live. Dang, they retiring Santana number that day. Come on, man. Come on, man. This team know what they doing, and I'm glad that I'm a fan. I'm glad I'm a fan, man. I'll be fanning out over here. So real quick, real quick, real quick. I'll be remiss. I'm gonna give you some quick little roster news. I know you guys might have heard about the Donovan Edwards. We picked up Donovan Edwards. He was the only guy that wasn't on our team that we brought over on the practice squad so far. He's a running back out of Michigan. He got some speed. He got some wheels. He ran a 4.4 and a 40. So maybe we got some running back speed back there. Little insurance policy because we didn't bring back any running backs on the practice squad, like a Demetric Felton or anybody like that. So there you go. Right. So the front office, they playing chess, man. Not only they locking up their star wide receiver, but they still building out the back end of the roster. Right. The 70-man roster that we have. So we in good hands. We are in good hands, man. So in this segment right here, I just want to highlight kind of like the winners, and we all winners in this Terry McLaurin deal. But I feel like the major winners, right? You got Jayden Daniels. We talked about how we feel like he's going for an MVP season. And with him going for an MVP season, and you got your guy that just got paid, he's highly motivated. He's been slighted in the public about his age and this, that, and the third. And Terry even mentioned himself, man, when I ran that bubble screen in Detroit a couple months ago, what nobody talking about I was slow. I wasn't talking about you was slow, Terry. I'm happy to see that. So with Jayden Daniels having his ace, right? That connection continue to grow. Remember, it started off slow last year in the beginning of the season. The first 3 games, it was slow. First 2 games. Till we got against the Bengals, it was not happening. Right? And then all of a sudden, it just started happening. All those reps, all those bank reps start clicking. Right now, he did have a couple other games throughout the season where he didn't get his just due, but that's because of the roster that was built around him. But with other options like Jaylin Lane, who Terry mentioned in the press conference today about how Jalen's not just an inside receiver. He's just not a punt returner. I mean, he's an outside weapon. He's able to be physical in his route running. And you know who that reminds me of? That reminds me of Terry McLaurin. That reminds me of Terry McLaurin, man. So now you got that guy back in the room teaching you something, man. You got that guy in the room showing you the tricks of the trade at that size. Y'all similar size. You might be a little faster than him right now because of the giddy up situation. But listen, we got Jaylin Lane, and he's in a good spot to learn from a Terry McLaurin, right? I would even say Deebo Samuel's a winner because now Deebo, with all that route running you've been doing all summer long, working with the route guy, working with working in the training camp with Cliff and the wide receiver coaches and everything like that, getting all that going. You know, you running every route in the route tree. All you've been doing is polishing your work, and now you got your 1A back. Now you can be that guy. You can be the guy going against the lesser corner on the other side. And you're going to kill him. So that opens up everything for Deebo, having Terry here. Opens up everything. All those red zone woes we were having in practice, gone. Offense looks much better now with Terry McLaurin. Roster looks way better when you got Terry McLaurin out there as an option. Another winner, Ja'Cory Brooks, who's on our practice squad. He actually name dropped the kid and Jacoby Jones. So he name dropped both the kids. All right. He's looking forward to putting his hands on these young wide receivers and really coaching them up so they can help the team. Right. He's looking to be that leader in the locker room so that people can follow his lead, man, and be commanders. And we just setting ourselves all the way up. But my hot take is Jaylin Lane going to benefit the most, man. He's going to benefit the most. I think Jaylin Lane he gonna surprise us all. He's gonna surprise us all, and I'm looking forward to seeing what some Terry tutelage gonna do for that guy. So listen, the deal wasn't just about money, man. It was about trust between Terry and AP. It was about stability for Jayden Daniels, and it was about proving the Commanders are building this thing the right way. This is what the new era looks like. This is what the Super Bowl era looks like. So if you're rocking with me, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, join the crew. Members, you get shout outs, exclusive perks, and you'll be part of a growing, the fastest rising Commanders community on YouTube. Currently at about 740 subscribers, on our way to 1K. And salute to everyone who drops a super chat. You fueling the grind, and you take your takeaways, get the spotlights here. And you know I'm always engaging. And tomorrow, we're going to have another video for y'all. We're going to start to break down the Giants and some of the season outlooks that we're looking for. But anywho, this is G Talk. This was Gerard B TV. This is Gerard B. And we just getting started, baby, because burgundy and gold, we never fold. And we out.